upload.
Upload not required, sir. As usual, whatever you have done is working.
It's okay. Okay.
Good morning, all. My dear pharmacy colleagues of all over India. And I welcome you for this fifth day. That's the last day of this 5 days FDP international webinar to enlighten all our pharmacy colleagues about the new advances and other AI tools, chat GPT like this, whatnot, in the teaching methodology. What is that you have to learn in this new world? It's all going on for the last 4 days. Now, fifth day, the speaker, Dr. Ramesh, the well-known dynamic pharmacologist, scientist of India, you can say that. And he's going to start. He was my colleague and he's a very close friend to me. And he's a very good researcher in the pharmacology and pharmacy practice fields. Now, I request my staff to proceed further. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr. Nirmala, Associate Professor, Malla Reddy College of Pharmacy. So, I am glad to introduce a distinguished speaker, Dr. Ramesh Alluri. So, he completed his B.Pharm from Gulbarga University, Karnataka, M.Pharm from Andhra University, Vizag, PhD from JNTUH. So, he is having 20 years of teaching and research experience. So he has held various positions including lecturer, senior lecturer and reader. Now he is working professor and principal at Vishnu Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, Viper, Narsapur. So he has published research papers 80 in peer-reviewed national and international journals. Few of them have received best paper awards. So he has presented research work in more than 82 national and international conferences, especially in USA, Australia, Dubai, Thailand and Malaysia. He has 3 patents to his credits. He authorized 3 books. So he received a projects and grants from Foundation of MSME DST worth of 51 lakhs. She has received Best Pharmacy Teacher Award from Alkan State University, USA, Best Pharmacy Teacher Award from Honorable Governor Sri ESL Narasimhan, Governor of Telangana. He has received Siksha Gaurav Puraskar Award, so awarded with IPA Fellowship Award in 2020 for his distinguished outstanding contribution to pharmacy profession, and he activist of IPA. So he was the secretary for 2 terms in Association of Pharmaceutical Teachers of India, AP State. Presently he is a CEC member of IAP, president of IPA Narsapur local branch. He is also member board of studies to various universities and has participated actively as a member chairman in many national level committees framed by PCI, AICTI, IPA, etc. He is the Vice President of Suraksha Independent Ethics Committee. He is Associate Member of Training and Trainer Program of PCA India. So now I would like to invite Dr. Ramesh Alluri delivered his lecture. So over to you, sir.
Yeah. So I think very good morning, beautiful morning to all of you. Right. First, initially, I just want to check whether you are able to see the slides or not. If you are able to see, please respond by saying yes before I further continue. Are you able to see the slides in full scale? Hello?
Slides, sir. We are seeing the slides.
Okay, then. Thank you. Right. Thank you for the very good introduction. Thank you, Dr. Sudhakar, for giving us an opportunity to explore and share our research thoughts and knowledge to our esteemed colleagues across the globe. And I would like to also thank our management for giving us an opportunity to share our valuable thoughts. So I think I'm a little deviant from the main issue, although we have got a very rich experience of having the standalone teaching training institute, which I'll be sharing it in the next slide. right? So I'll be more focusing on the current topics which are in need for the various areas and the new upcoming areas which are indeed needed for the teachers to learn. So with this, once again, my topic will be focused on the pharmacovigilance and materiovigilance and their role in clinical trials and their regulatory perspective, right? So first, I would like to share about my organization, who is giving me the bread and butter. I'm happy to share that Viper is one of the good institution which has got many of the labels almost like NAC twice accreditation, NBA thrice. Similarly, we started LSSDC in year 2010. We were the first institution to start across India. Similarly, we have CIRO, IIC, and MSME, right? And I'm very glad to say that we also have continuously for about 5 times we are in NIRF ranking and one of the number one private institutions, right, with NIRF ranking in Telangana, state of Telangana. And recently we also have the Drug Licensing Authority officially, CDSCO certified drug testing laboratory. So with this few things, I'm very happy that our organization is more committed towards the outcome-based education, and we have very good publications, and about uh, my colleagues are near to around 8 crores of funding research projects. Although we started very late, we are just 2007 born, right? But we are able to achieve all these laurels because of the good friendship of everyone, and thanks to the management. And most importantly, I would like to thank my team of colleagues who have been with us and with the highest retention rate. So with this few words, right, I would like to jump into the topic for today's right presentation is on the skills which are required, right, and the present day scenarios. So before this, I think I'll just touch upon what we are and how are we different from the rest of the institutions. I would like to say that we have an very good institute called Vedic, right? Vedic is nothing but Vishnu Educational Development and Innovation Center. So this is something the brainchild of our chairman, who has started a teaching training institute exclusively in about 50,000 square feet, right? And there we have different types of seminar halls where we can have a residential facility, a five-star facility, where 150 staff members can stay in the campus, right? And there we have trainers who are from two of them are from abroad, right? Who have done their PhDs there, and we have psychologists there. So the role of Vedic is to ensure that we are adapted to all these online programs and to know the current learning methodologies. I'm very happy to share that many of us know about all these techniques, right? Only after COVID. But this Vedic has been instituted in 2016, where right from them we are acquainted with Moodle, with all the online platforms, which was an easy cakewalk for us, right? And we have full subscriptions of this during COVID, and that also the far-headed thinking, right, helped us to have a easy pathway in ensuring that our students are not affected. So this is a unique differentiator, and exclusively, I think in South India, one of the important teaching training institute exclusively developed. And as you know, SVS is nothing but Sri Vishnu Educational Society, which consists of four engineering institutions, dental, to pharmacy, polytechnic, schools, and all this. So all our teachers get trained here, they are assessed here, and based on that, right, the feedback we continue, right, so that, because I strongly believe that these FDPs are very important, because teacher should be aware of the full knowledge so that he can share to the students. So with this brief introduction about my institution and the society catering about the teaching training institution, right, I would like to dive into our topic, which is very, very important in the current day scenario, that is about the pharmacovigilance and materiovigilance. So I think with this, all of you are aware of what is pharmacovigilance, but many of you are not much acquainted with materiovigilance. But however, I will just like to go in the a step further to just make you once again revive to those who are already knowledge in that, but for the newcomers it will definitely be helpful for us. So, and what is the regulatory requirements, which is not much known to our teachers, right? So I believe these can definitely help us to go further. So regulatory pharmacology is now the upcoming boom, and the highest job areas are in this. And this field applies to pharmacology to meet the drug development regulations to ensure the safe and effective drugs to reach the market. And if you look at the history, it reflects the evolution of medicine, right from ancient herbs, right to the development of modern synthetic drugs, showcasing pivotal discoveries and breakthroughs. So, an overview I just want to give about what is pharmacovigilance and what are its applications and how to go further, right? And it's the I think all of us know what is pharmacovigilance. The definition clearly states that it's a science and activities related to detection, assessment, understanding, and prevention of adverse effects of any drug-related problems. So, what is the importance of this, right? Because I believe that the pharmacy is such a beautiful field that you cannot have the existence without pharmacy. Of course, many of them say that doctors are important, but at the end of the day, that pharmacists also play an equivalent role. The reason why I'm sharing is doctor can only prescribe the medicine, but who is the one who can definitely deliver the requirement? And by doctor saying simple words, right, they cannot cure the disease, but it is our duty as a pharmacist to ensure that we deliver, right, the right drug at right time, to ensure that its after effects are not much. So what I want to tell is, right, people can live without food, where we always see there are lots of people doing fasting, right? Or because of certain religious traditions also, one day they fast. But have you ever seen them stopping the usage of drug, right? So even during fasting, no one can stop the usage of drug. So the medicine is the key important thing, and that is to be made knowledgeable to the people and make our profession proud. So when medicine is more important than anything, so we should be very careful with the drug related side effects, and that is nothing but the pharmacovigilance. So many of us know that it is evolved after the thalidomide tragedy, right? But very few of them know that before 1960, right, in 1930s, there is a sulfonamide tragedy, elixir. If you just Google it, right, you will know. Till then, there is just an FDA which is not having clarity in 1930s. But after preparation of sulfonamide elixirs, right, unknowingly, they have dispatched to all the children, right, sulfonamide tablets were there, but not in the form of elixirs. Then, uh, after dispatch throughout the country or in USA, right, then there were reports stating that there were deaths recorded in the children. And then immediately they started spreading telegrams. They started sending a team of people to ensure that elixir need to be stopped because it is causing the after effects, right, and leading to the death. Then uh, now present day generations with a small talk here or with a WhatsApp, everyone are getting knowledgeable in particular area. But during that time, there were teams which have to go long distances, and they have to stop the distribution of the sulfonamide elixir, and then ultimately it took a lot of time before the damage has already occurred. And then they have formed a new established team in 1938, right, Food and Drug Administration, FDA, and then it was there. But of late we only remember, or which was in our books, is majorly the thalidomide, which I believe is one of the very important things. And if you remember, I think I have got a personal copy of this. If you are able to see this, right, the Wonder Drug, right. This is one of the very important book which everyone should study. Every pharmacist should have knowledge on this, right. And I think it is a wonderful knowledge on the secret behind the thalidomide disaster. And luckily, at least people woke up then and started assessing the new way. Apart from regular animals, testing on regular animals, they started testing on the pregnant animals also, because of the morning sickness, right, which led to around 108 seal babies, right? And now, then came the importance, because we may have drugs which may not be effective, but we should not invent drugs which causes toxicity. And if you weigh them, right, the ratio is very, very important for us to learn, right? So I think all of us know about the preclinical trial and clinical trial cycles, which I don't want to focus much on this, because my important message is at the later slides. But just to give an introduction, right, we need to check all the lead drugs which are funneled from thousands of molecules, right, to test them on the various animals which uh, need to be certified before they are proceeded to the clinical trials. And as a pharmacologist, the preclinical trial is the very cutting edge importance, because without this we cannot proceed until exceptional cases were there. Like you have seen during pandemic, we did not have time to test everything on animals as per our timeline. uh, 10 years of span for testing everything. So at times we have taken certain important steps to ensure that the preclinical trials are excluded, and definitely they went into the clinical trials, and the various phases have completed so fast, right, that we were able to give it to the market in just before 1 year. So there are exceptions, and because if we start uh, testing each and every drug for the routine traditional way of testing the medicine discovery, it will take more than a decade. So we did not have time, and if we had more than decade, we should have got crores of people dead by then. And India was the most successful drug, which you know, right? And when you compare with the Western medicine, right, the people who got the our Indian Bharat Biotech drug is better than the various other drugs. And I personally know my friends, my son who is in US, right, have taken the Pfizer, but still he got the COVID. But people in India are taking our own uh, discovered drug, right, Covaxin, right, it was definitely far better, and it prevent lots of attacks during the for COVID. So what I want to tell here is that there are exceptions for these clinical trials, and clinical trials has happened in such a faster pace that you won't even believe that there of course. So you know about the clinical trial phases, which I'll just give a bird's eye view on that. Right, you know, phase 0 is there, right, for the regular drugs. Now instead of phase 1, there is a in phase 0 where you do clinical trials on only 10 volunteers instead of jumping to 30 plus, right? Only 10 volunteers, and they don't uh, test them for the full therapeutic dose which was yielded by the preclinical trial, a half of the dose, just to ensure that it is safe in healthy volunteers. This trial was introduced recently, and because we never know that the drugs which are very safe in animals may not be safe in the humans. So that's the reason why this phase 0 has been introduced. And after that, although we don't uh, uh, get anything out of that, right? Because the peak therapeutic index and all of them, we don't get it. But just a formal testing of the drug happens. And immediately they shift to phase 1 trials, where it takes months together, and they check on healthy volunteers, which is a key important thing, instead of testing on the diseased patients, right? And once they are sure that it is not having the unwanted side effects, and if everything are within limits, then they proceed to the phase 2, and it takes years together, because getting that deceased patient is a critical task, and testing on the deceased patient is a key important thing, because we should know that the drug, whether the drug is effective in the deceased patient or not, right? Then after they are sure about their pharmacokinetic dynamic profiles, right? And then they proceed to the phase 3 trials, where we call it as multi-centered clinical trials, right? The reason is why we call it as multi-centered clinical trials is that these trials may be effective in South India, but they may not be the same in North India because of the difference in the ethnic race. So, for example, best example includes the metronidazole, which is very safe in India, may not be the safest in Japanese people because they have redness in their faces. So, one of the safest drugs which we think at one particular place is not safe in other place. It varies because of their DNA, because of the climatic conditions or XYZ reasons. So they do an multi-centered clinical trial. And this multi-centered clinical trial definitely can help them to ensure that it is safe across the globe. So that is the reason it takes a lot of years for us to test them, and we do in large number of patients, around 1,000 to 3,000 patients also. We extend the study to ensure that the drug is safest, right? And then we proceed for the regulatory approval, and based on that, right, then comes our important thing, that is phase 4, which we call it as the post-marketed surveillance. And then comes the regulatory requirements across the phase, and we ultimately ensure that there is a very good system of safety established, and we ensure that the pharmacology and the is thoroughly done. And then comes the pharmacovigilance team, which takes very clear steps on the various adverse drug reactions and the risk management. Then once everything is ready, it is released into the public, and once it is in the public, then we need to follow the current global guidelines, right, which are laid by WHO and ICH, right, where we ensure that the disease is prevented, the health promotion takes place, the safety and efficacy and quality of the pharmaceuticals are under the limits, and they ensure to improve the international health outcomes and facilitate international collaborations and approval process. So these regulations again vary from place to place. As you know, the FDA, you have US FDA, where they ensure that they are thoroughly checked by each and every uh, protocol, and ensure that their monitoring of the drugs are taken care, and they ensure the safety and compliance in the drug development and even in the post-marketed surveillance. Yesterday, during my phone call to my friend who is now working in toxicology, so they are now implementing a new important thing, that is the artificial intelligence in toxicology, and they are in the pipeline, and he's the head for that, right? So they are ensuring that AI is placed in each and every field to ensure that they get the best advantage out of it. Similarly, we have the European guidelines, right, where they clearly follow the stringent norms to ensure that they are taken care, right? And ultimately, at the end of the day, we need to look at the ethics and safety, which is the outcome of the program, right? And these are taken care by drug safety monitoring boards, and they report the protocols of the various adverse events which are happening across. And if you take the challenges, right, majorly is the regulatory inconsistencies, right, and where diverse regulatory requirements among countries can lead to confusion and delays in drug approvals, creating barriers from companies navigating varying compliance standards across the different jurisdictions, right? And we should also ensure that we take the process at a very faster pace to ensure that each and every drug reaches the needy. So, regulatory has now taken a step ahead, and there is a clear saying that they should complete the file. And we should also look at not only the artificial intelligence, which is now the emerging area in the drug development, which has almost helped in all the industries, right, to hasten the process. For example, earlier, to find out the lead molecule, we used to take lots of time, but now it is everything at a doorstep, right? For us to get a literature during our PhD times, it used to take minimum 1 year, but now for a PhD, the literature takes hardly 1 week, right? Where you can get the full literature at your doorstep. So, using the AI, right, and connecting to the real world evidence is a very, very important process, and which can help us to go to the next level, that is the quantitative approaches, which are important to know the benefits, right, against the risks, right? And qualitative approaches ultimately is the outcome which ensures that we evaluate the risks through subjective analysis, capturing the numbers which may overlook. And at the end of the day, the risk minimization strategies need to be in place. The REMS, which is the most important part, which we call it as the risk evaluation and mitigation strategies, which helps us in identification, assessments, and prioritizing the risks, and sharing the information and being transparent is a key outcome of the process. And adverse drug reactions needs the spontaneous reporting system which is in place, and with the help of the electrical health records, right, this has become now very easy and very difficult also to manipulate, right, which earlier people had an opportunity. So everything is now transparent, and everything is to be done at a very faster pace, and the statistical methods ought to be in place to ensure that we identify and take the records at par with the various standards which are there. So we need to do data mining and ensure that India is going to be the global center for the data, right, in coming days. And I think earlier also all these were available, but we did not have, because without data we cannot do anything. So uh, we say now artificial intelligence is coming up, but how does artificial intelligence help us to give us a faster and a precision report? It is when you give the data, because earlier there was no data. Now each and everything with the data centers, right, uploading each and every case study, now AI is now playing a beautiful role and ultimately giving us an accurate conclusion, which is to be correlated with the subject, right? Because you cannot just based on AI cannot move forward, right? And touching and asking in chat GPT cannot really help, because the ground reality of the patient differs, right? They may give us a suggestion. So many of us tell that AI is taking the jobs, all this. No, it won't take the jobs, but it will also create new jobs. This is what everyone tells whenever something new comes into the market, that this is gone, right? That will again needs refreshed editions, and that requires new job sectors, right? So the success stories are to be learned, right, and focus on the innovative strategies and importance of the proactive risks. And the real world examples include is the best example is semaglutide, right, where in late 2023, the recent ones, a signal related to the semaglutide glutidine, right, a medication used for diabetes and weight management, was reported through pharmacovigilance efforts, right? Now, the best example is again the Ozempic, right? Which I think now it's a buzzword in the market, and this is going to become the blockbuster, and it is going to even surpass the various other blockbusters, right? And uh, during my interaction with the endocrinologist, she was telling that Ozempic is now the wonder drug, right? However, he told that it is limited, it has its own limitations. Okay, it can help you to reduce the weight, right? It can definitely help you to ensure that you need to sustain that. Once you stop Ozempic, again there are chances that you will again retain the weight. So these are not permanent solutions, right? So please understand that all these anti-obese drugs, right, or which are in the market, they can only help partly, right? And that always requires an additional personal support, which can only help you to prevent, right? It can, okay, reduce 2 kgs in just 15 days, right, for each single injection. This is the outcome which he was sharing, right? But it cannot help a lean patient. It can only help an obese patient to reduce the weight, but after a certain weight, it cannot help us to go further down. So please ensure that the people who are using the Ozempic, right, needs to understand this before they proceed further, right? So it is our pharmacist role to ensure that we take care of all these drugs. We ensure that the patient is fully knowledge, right, regarding the outcomes of this. And then the pharmacist role comes into the picture, and the professionalism goes up. Because to be very frank, the pharmacists in India are not respected. Why? A very simple reason is no way the pharmacist is involved in ensuring that the patient compliance is taking place. It's a doctor who tells it, and pharmacist is just dispensing the drug without even sharing. But my experience when I went to US and sat in the pharmacist store, right? They take prior permission. They clearly tell if it is a new prescription. They take half an hour time to clearly tell why you got this disease, what is going to happen if you don't use this disease on time, the drugs, how to monitor it, how to use them, and how can you reduce the usage, and what are the basic lifestyle things. So a pharmacist plays a clear role in sharing it. So what I found is the weightage is given there to pharmacists, where he also adds certain prescription tags. However, in India, we don't have time. You're busy, I'm busy, and we don't have busy. We don't have time to even report to the doctors of our side effects. Now, and the other important things are the challenges and failures. Failures, if you take the drug withdrawals, are slowly increasing day by day due to the safety concerns, and we should ensure that we analyze and make the decision properly. Right now, with the uh, system where everything can be reported online, right? Slowly, we are able to ensure that failures are less. And there is a systemic issue in reporting, right? Underreporting was the common cause earlier, but now it was not that. earlier we all know who used to report the pharmacovigilance adverse pharmacovigilance team was not unaware of the people, right? And patient doesn't know what to do. But in now with the electronic data available, right? Everyone can report online, and we do not wait, uh, and the time span is very less because doctors doesn't have so much time, right? Because when a patient comes after 15 days for a reappointment, then he says that after taking the drug I'm getting drowsy, or I'm sleeping, my headache is growing up, my blood pressure issue, so all those, and the doctor cannot report the same to the company. So it is now becoming easy and becoming more transparent, and that in a way is helping, right, to get that data and to ensure that failures are very less. So now the services of Indian Pharmacopoeian Commission are also in place, right, where they are taking care to ensure that everything is online and data is readily available. Now, now that we have taken care that drugs are properly reported and ensured that the side effects are avoided, next comes the new topic, or the most important topic now currently, which is new, is materiovigilance. What is this materiovigilance, right? So this is a new team which is formed along with the drug regulatory pharmacovigilance teams, right? Materiovigilance is nothing but the close monitoring of any performance or of the unsatisfied or during differences or fluctuations of a medical device. Means, right, it is related to the medical devices, not to the drug, right? Nowadays the most important thing is drugs comes after, but before the drug is prescribed, there is a gap between the doctor and the pharmacist. That is where the place of materiovigilance is important, right? So these medical devices, by means of a system or cable, identifying, collecting, reporting, and reacting to them with the field safety and corrective actions, right? And post-marketing phase of the medical device. So it's a similar pattern going parallelly with our drug. So the various medical devices which are now emerging as the market leaders in India, right? Metronics, all these are now the key important things happening across, right? So those are the important things which are now able to ensure that they need proper attention, right? So what I want to tell here is that similar to pharmacovigilance, there is a materiovigilance where they check whether the proper functioning of the instruments are happening or not. You know, the ultrasound, MRI, all these are the various instruments, and there were various deaths reported because of the unexpected complications. No, you take a best example of the testing of your blood sugar by a glucometer. So this glucometer has got various differences from person to person. So we need to understand that the precision of each glucometer needs to be taken. A simple weighing machine, right, it has got a lot of fluctuations. So what I want to tell you is all the various medical devices which are now the currently hitting the market and in a large amount, this is India is going to be the hub, and particularly Hyderabad, there's a big medical devices park which is emerging, and a lot of job avenues are there, which is similar to the pharmacovigilance. So what are these medical devices? And it has started in 2017, where provisions related to import, manufacturing, labeling, distribution, and the sale of medical devices, including in vitro diagnostics, are covered under medical devices rule. So it is taken by the Ministry of Health, right? And they have classified them into various areas. They have classified them into A, B, C, D, and where A is called the low risk, and B is called moderate risk, and C is called the high risk, moderate to high, and D is called the high risk ones. So a simple thermometer is a medical device. The surgical swab, right, and surgical dressing units, all these are classified under A, and B comes the needles, the suction equipments, hematology reagents, all these. And moderate to high risk includes the ventilators, right, intraocular lenses, and the various plates, and all those are coming under the moderate to high risk. And lastly, the most important things are the high risks ones are the stents, defibrillators, right, and the implantable substances. So all these are the various categories of materiovigilance where they can define into different groups. Next, you have all these are the things which are coming under the medical devices, right? Now, strict implementation is also going to take place, because these medical devices have what we call as the highest profit-making things happening across. You take a stunt, it hardly costs 1,000 rupees to 3,000 medicated stunt, but they charge us around 50,000, right? Or you just take an best example is IV cannula, right? For IV, right, you require a cannula, which they charge us 72 rupees. But in a wholesale price, they get it for 6 rupees 80 pies. So 1,000 times is the profits in all these medical devices. So this is where these are hidden costs which none of us know until you are closely monitoring them in the market, right? Because the MRP will tell them, right? And these are the areas which we need to take care. Okay, so all these are the various things which are coming under the medical devices, as already told, right? So, what is a medical device? It's an medical device is something which is indented action by the pharmacology for medical purpose, right? Used in single or in combination, right? So they help in diagnosis, prevention, monitoring, and treatment of various diseases. So majorly the investigations, whatever are happening, right, are because of these medical devices. So, and one of the more other important, best example is the blood pressure monitoring device. And I already told about glucometer. All these are certain important things where we need to take care. So, why there is a materiovigilance team? What is the need of it, right? Because we are masters in manipulation also, right? And we may definitely think that all the things are correct, but there are fake things. And the best important part is we came across the oximeters, right? During COVID conditions, there were number of what we call uh, the the cloning of the various medical devices which have yielded a very wrong results. And the best parts of it is one of the various instances include is the MRI machine where a man died after being sucked into the MRI machine in Mumbai in 2018. So this was the first and most important crucial thing which helped us to ensure that the MRI scanners, the incubators where 5 newborn babies were charred to death, right, in Patiala, Punjab. So similarly, the cardiac cases happening across, right, the risks are more and more growing, and so Ministry of Health has taken this as a very important program, and Materiovigilance program is now at par conducted, ensure that people are knowledge on this, right? And I think to go further, right, the pharmacovigilance also helps us to ensure that they are taken care, and definitely the drug repurposing is a new point why we need to ensure that everything is taken care and needs to go further. So of course, there are various reporting timelines, and for Materiovigilance and Pharmacovigilance, we have all these are the important things. Now, one of the other important term which is commonly used is drug repurposing, which I think all of you know in a nutshell, right? This is the buzz in the market, right? The reason is it is nothing but old wine in a new bottle. What is this new old wine in a new bottle? If you think, finding a new clinical use of a approved drug means the findings of the clinical drugs which are stalled in phase 2 or phase 1 or phase 3, where they find that it may not be effective. So phase 2 or these drugs are tested for other therapeutic indication, right? And phase 2 where you already have an established pharmacokinetics, we already have an established toxicology. These can help us to find a new therapeutic index. So in simple, right, a discovery of new indication for an approved or failed drug. The best example, I think, when we were young, I think the youngsters may not know, but we all know about this, where we used to make them into different places, right, where we used to make them into different toys, and so the same old drug, and we are providing a new clinical indication. And so repurposing is the best way to ensure that we can save a lot of time, energy, right, and most importantly money, right? So why drug repurposing is very important is because, right, you can know for every 100 drugs entering into the phase 1, only 12 gained access to FDA approvals. So the cost of bringing a repurposed drug is very cheap, and you can see that out of 100, only 12 are gaining approvals. So the failure rate is high. So drug repurposing is the only solution now, instead of going for a new discovery, right? What is the need for drug repurposing? Very good. One important thing is it reduces the attrition rates. The failure rate is very high. Out of 100, only 12 is successful. The statistics clearly shows us. So the failure rate can be decreased because already it is an approved drug. The cost, the costs involved, millions of dollars can be saved. And the other very important thing, as I told, is the time, right? During COVID, we don't have alternatives. So what did we do? We use the same drugs, antiviral drugs, to treat the thing. We did not go for the new discovery, right? So the timeline, you cannot spend so much. So these old drugs, right, can be used for other therapeutic indications which can be alive. And the last and most important thing is to meet the unmet diseases. This is very, very crucial, because if you take, say, Sun Pharma or Dr. Reddy's, they cannot discover a new drug for very rare diseases, say like elephantiasis, or where it is rarely used. And if they discover also, the treatment will be in lakhs. So we cannot take so much risk in discovering a new drug for a very rare diseases because it is not viable. So no company will be ready. But due to drug repurposing, what we can do is, if we can ensure that any failed drug in phase 1, phase 2, or phase 3 or anything, right, you can test them for this new indication, right, and that is a blockbuster. And leave about blockbuster, but it is definitely, right, helping us to help the needy, because there are many diseases which are 1 in 10,000, 1 in 1 lakh, unlike the general diseases we have. So these can help them. So what we have to do is simply ensure that we do all the repeated procedures for this, right? And these are the current trials which are drugs which are in the market for the various treatments, where they can definitely ensure that if they can prove themselves that they are better in one or the other disease, it's a blockbuster. And you can see the various treatment strategies we have followed during COVID, right? We did not have any other alternatives. We checked with antivirals, anti-malarial, immunosuppressants, we used antibacterials. So we did various therapies to ensure that we prevented the COVID. And the various companies which are now targeting on this repurposing or all these drugs, right? And I have tested one of the company drug which is done for repurposing in our institutions. So this is my paper on repurposing of the drug with 3.2 impact factor, right, which is done in our lab using intracerebroventricular STZ injection, right? So we ensure that repurposing is taken place, and that can help us to work faster. And the best example out of it is the sildenafil, where the repurposed drug, right, has become the blockbuster. You all know about Viagra, which was developed for angina, right? And but when the patient starts using it, they have experienced unusual side effects, that is prolonged erection. And then what after pharmacovigilance they have found out, then why can't we shift it? And now that has become a blockbuster because it is repurposed towards erectile dysfunction, and that is how it is now used. Similarly, it is also repurposed for pulmonary arterial hypertension. So one single drug molecule with multiple uses. The best example is aspirin. Nowadays, aspirin, which was supposed to be an NSAID, right, turned out to be an antiplatelet. So all these are the various stories which I'm just skipping in the interest of time. Right, thalidomide, again, it is coming into the market, right, with an off-label, right, for the myeloma. Similarly, what is this AI? What is the importance of AI? Is to ensure they quicken the process and it is reaching the market. And AI is now playing a major role in transforming the and supporting the regulatory pharmacology, right? And the blockchain technology ensures us that the data and integrity is taken care, because everything is data, and security of the data is the biggest issue, right? And we also should ensure that there is a regulatory compliance. In the interest of time, I'm just skipping the thing. And the key benefits of integration can definitely enhance the patient safety, accelerate the approval process, and improve the drug development and decision. So the regulatory evaluation is the need of the hour to suit the market needs. And the impact is clearly shown, right, because of the digital transformation happening place, right? And the key takeaways are regulatory pharmacology ensures that the drug safety and efficacy before and after marketing, and continuous evaluation evolution and embrace the new technologies for the efficiency. Stay engaged, contribute to the safer drug development. And future directions include the AI and enhanced PV is the outcome, and real world evidence is the need of the hour with global collaborations. And my last slide is to ensure that we India is one of the very powerful country and emerging country where we have various advantages compared to the rest of the industries, where I think many of us are not aware. India has 186 US FDA approved uh, industries in comparison with the outside. So US FDA has got only India, which is approved. So many industries are available, and compared to other countries, we are number one in that. Patient enrollment, our strength is patients. Similarly, diversity, we have different genetic uniqueness, different races. Cost wise, if you look at, our costs are the cheapest in the market compared to any other country, right? And English competency, we are of course very fluent in English, and definitely the communication is better while doing the clinical trials. And familiarity with Western medicine, if you take Chinese, they use their own traditional medicine, but for us, majority of us use Western medicine. So with this, we all are having more advantage than any other company, and we also equal with the rest of the countries in medical infrastructure, right? Familiarity and company with international standards, right? But there are certain areas where we lack is IPR, where we are not fully knowledgeable in that, right? So we need to develop the regulatory pharmacology and ensure that these are taken care. And some of the industries, right, are very poor, where we need to develop and ensure that these are taken care, and then only we can ensure that we are at par with the global standard. And patents are the biggest challenges, and we should ensure that we take proper care in developing it. So what I want to tell you is that India is going to emerge out of the market, and India is going to be the landmark for it. So with this, I just want to thank Malla Reddy institutions for giving wonderful opportunities, and I should thank my staff for giving a wonderful area related to this, right? So thank you, and over to you for any questions.
We had a nice session.
Thank you.
Is it audible, Ramesh?
Yes, sir. Please.
Uh, we had a very nice session. So many topics were covered in such a short time of 60 minutes only. Very useful. One question I want to
Yeah.
ask. What is
Yes.
the risk with the semaglutide?
Yeah, semi-glutidine is a wonderful drug, and it is going to be a blockbuster, which was thought. But however, of late, the biggest side effect of semi-glutidine is the pancreatitis. So there is a acute pancreatitis is the key important outcome which was observed. So we should ensure that the careful process of medication should take place because of this side effects. And there were also gastrointestinal issues related to it, particularly the nausea, vomiting, was also listed in the report, and that is also an important thing. And there were also differences from person to person, which ensure that acute pancreatitis is going to come, and we should ensure that it shouldn't show much effect. But in clinical trials, they are also tested in clinical trials. This was tested, and there was also partial reports of that. But when you weigh the usage versus the toxicity, they have accepted it. But again, of course, they have now ensured that it is taken proper care, and the pancreatic symptoms are to be taken into consideration. Particularly the upper abdominal pain is a common important side effects which were seen, and it is accompanied by the abdomen. So these are the some of the side effects which were which were already prescribed in the label, but these are serious conditions which need to be treated. So this is all I have for you. I hope
Yeah, good,
you
good.
got it. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So you have said of something about the materiovigilance, about
Yes,
the
sir.
various devices used in the diagnosis of the so many diseases and all. Suppose
Yes.
some deviations are there, to whom we have to comply?
The same in 2017, they have started in length, right, at par with the pharmacovigilance. Earlier, we did not have this. In 2015 only, we started this, and our same regulatory team is going to now monitor these medical devices. So the same pharmacovigilance team, right, are going to take the material vigilance also. Excuse me.
So a lot of things are covered here. Uh,
Thank you, sir.
Maximum some new information also there for many people. It's a good thing to see such a nice lecture. Uh, Ramesh sir, thank you very much for your
Thank you,
nice
sir.
session. I
Thank
request
you.
my staff to proceed further. And any comments, just go to the comments box and find out. You ask the questions to the Dr. Ramesh Alluri.
Sir,
Please.
one more question. So, as a pharmacy faculty, what innovative or stimulation-based methods can be used to teach pharmacovigilance and materiovigilance to graduate pharmacy students?
Sorry, I did not. It was in lag. Uh,
So, as a
can you?
pharmacy faculty,
Are you able to hear me?
Faculty, what innovative or simulation-based methods can be used to teach pharmacovigilance and methodologies to graduate pharmacy students? I'll repeat again. As a pharmacy faculty, what innovative or simulation-based methods can be used to teach pharmacovigilance and methodologies to graduate pharmacy students?
Okay. So,
What are the methods, innovative or simulation method to teach this vigilance?
yeah, I think first we need to assess to know the problem. What is the actual problem we have, and
Not audible.
not
you
audible.
have
Ramesh sir, it's not
different
audible.
techniques,
Your
particularly
voice is
the
not.
PKPD models. Are you able to hear
Madam,
me? Yeah. Right. I think. Uh, are you able to hear me?
yes, sir.
Please
The
repeat, sir.
most
Please repeat.
important thing is the various softwares like others, right, which is very important, right, to learn, and definitely the statistical methods as, and most importantly, the PKPD models are the key important things where I think institutions should go further, and these are the models which can definitely help us to learn better and ensure that the faster drug developments happen at a reduced cost, and predicting the drug-drug interactions is also a very important problem, right? So the predictive or you can say there are different models which are into the discrete and continuous models where I think although they are very costly, right, we need to take the support of the CII, which we have taken, and they are helping us to provide this Argus software, where it takes about 45 lakhs to install, and which is not bearable in an institution. So some of the what we can say, with the help of them only we can use this simulating softwares where the system dynamics, all this can be learned.
Any more questions in the comments box? Sandhya? Any more? No more.
No.
So,
So thank you
thank
so much, Dr. Ramesh sir, for your insightful, engaging talk on pharmacovigilance and material vigilance. So we are very grateful for your sharing your time with us today. So thank you everyone. So the next session resumes at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So once again, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your time, sir. సార్ వెళ్ళిపోయినట్టున్నారు చూడండి ఉన్నారు